Hi, this is Sean with Your Work, Your Success. Most of the episodes in this channel so far have been focusing on your development, specifically teaching you how to learn. And frankly, it's been a lot of book work. But what if you want to learn some sort of skill, or you want to head into the trades, or you want to work with your hands more than work in an office? It's not really the same as learning how to be an accountant or something like that, right? Well, actually it pretty much is. Skills are still skills. Learning them is pretty much the same process. If, say, you're a carpenter and you're building you're building window frames all the time, house after house, there's a lot of repetitive skills there. Same thing for an accountant, where with the carpenter you're working with a hammer and saw all the time. An accountant is working with spreadsheets all the time. For the carpenter, maybe each house is different, but the basic skills are the same. For the accountant, everybody's income is different. You're working with this business or that business, and it's all different situations, but he's still using the same math skills. So how can you use what you've been learning from me so far to help you with your success, help you get success as you move into a trade or some other skilled profession? I'm going to cut to a video that I shot last summer to give you an example of what I mean. I'm sitting here on the floor because I want to show you a bad job I did. So this wall behind me right here, I added that wall to our house. This is in our dining room. And the carpentry underneath it is actually pretty decent. I did it over 10 years ago and it hasn't shifted at all. Really good job. And a lot of that I owe to my dad, because we did a lot of woodworking when I was a kid, and he showed me some carpentry, and so I picked up quite a few skills. But here's what I did really badly, was the drywall compound. Now drywall compound, if you've ever worked with drywall, it's also known as mud. This is the home repair project that normally takes a nice flat sheet of drywall and turns it into something that looks like the surface of the moon. It's really for an amateur like me, usually it is horrid. So here's the job I did, and you can see down here, big crack. And I could have put a baseboard on here, but didn't. And ignore where it's chipped. Like I said, it's kind of old, and we'll be getting ready to do it soon. Fix it up again. But here, this is what I was talking about. It looks like the surface of the moon. Just a horrid job. So now I'm going to take you and I'm going to show you a better job, and I'll highlight I'll highlight what I'm talking about here. So now this was this year's project. We were getting ready to do some painting, and we had a lot of cracks in the wall behind me, and I'm going to flip the camera on so you can see better what I'm talking about here. Okay, so you see right here, nice and smooth. Right here in the crack, nice and smooth right there. That was full of holes, full of craters, everything. And as we go up the ceiling, what I didn't fix was this. So what that is this is an old plaster wall, and that's the tape on the plaster. And then you have a bunch of pock marks in it, quite bad. So what's the difference? How did I get from the really bad job on the wall I did 10 years ago to this job that I did just this year? Well, YouTube. So I went on YouTube and I watched, I was getting ready to do this painting project to fix this place up, and drywall, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to drywall mud and clean that all up, and I'm always horrible at it. So I went on YouTube, I found this contractor who had been doing it 15-20 years, and he said, here, I want to show you how to do drywall, see if I can get a couple likes, whatever. And so I watched this guy's video, and it all made so much sense. Next morning, I got up nice and early, and I was actually excited to do drywall compound, which is the first time ever in my life that I've been excited to do this. So I did it, came out the first morning, started it up. Well, it still looked like the surface of the moon. So I had two choices at this point. One, I could just say, oh, well, I guess I'm never going to get good at it. Or I could go back to the YouTube video, watch it again, and then have another crack at it. Well, I'm really glad I tried option 2, because now I can't help but look around and think of different things I want to fix in the house. So the next time we paint, that one bad strip that I showed you, well, that's going too. Now that is how you can learn skills. It doesn't matter what the skill is, but you can pick up these skills. It's so important for you to start to learn how to learn, and this is one of the ways you can do it. You can do anything you want. You can try it out. If you've got at all the mental aptitude for it, just try it out. And this doesn't have to be the thing that you finally settle on as the be all and end all, the career that you're gonna have forever. All this is an opportunity for you to learn how to learn, to start to train your brain a little bit so you can figure out how to learn, how to develop skills. Your turn. This is your assignment. I want you to pick something. I want you to think of any skill, something you want to try out. Now don't do something that can wreck your house like plumbing or electrical. Pick something a little safer than that. And like I've said repeatedly, whatever you're doing right now, it doesn't have to be the final thing you land on. If you've watched the previous episodes, you'll know how much time I spent studying a medical textbook or learning how to communicate with the troops in Afghanistan. I'm not using any of that knowledge right now, but it was good because it started me on this path to learning, to teaching myself how to learn skills. So it doesn't have to be the final thing you enter into. You know, like I've gotten pretty good at painting, but I certainly don't want to do it for a living. It's just not it's not what I'm passionate about. Now I recommend you pick something small this time. Just hang a couple shelves around the house, or figure out how an electric motor works as you build a little one. Or, you know, try grooming your own dog, whatever. It's just start practicing how to teach yourself skills. Okay, so pick anything. Pick it and try. Try and probably fail at it. You know, it's a new thing. Try it, fail, try again, get a little better at it. So let's review how you're going to be successful at this. First, figure out what you want to do. Write it down. Yes, really, write it down. Write down what the thing is you want to do, and write down what the end state looks like, or how you know you'll be successful when you've completed it. Then write down when you're going to do it, you know, pick a date, and how much time you're willing to commit to it. And then try it, and fail at it, and then try it again and be a little bit better. And then try more. Fail at that. Try. Don't beat yourself up when you mess it up the first 10 times. Just, it's good for you to do this. And it's probably going to be a bit difficult. You're doing some mental push-ups here. So, you know, it is effort. It's a good process for you to go through. Also, break it down into smaller parts. Like, if your project was going to be to hang shelves, then first, what I would do is I'd learn how to drill the holes in the wall and learn how to use a level. If you can be successful at the small parts, then the big job will pretty much take care of itself. You'll be good at it if you do just a little bit. Okay, hold on a minute. Now, am I saying if you do this, if you follow this process, then that's all you'll have to do to qualify for a trade? No, of course not. If you want to go into something like be a mechanic or a plumber or an electrician or a pipe fitter, whatever, then you're going to have to do some school eventually. But this will be a really good start for you. So just start learning how to learn skills. And then when you do figure out what you want to do, you'll be able to focus. Now, here's an example. Say you want to be a carpenter. Okay, you want to be a carpenter, so you're first, you've already gone through this process of grooming your own dog or whatever, you know, and you've got some months and years under your belt of learning how to learn skills. Now you want to focus on carpentry. So the first thing you would do is build something little, like a toy box, a wooden toy box for your kids. Next, maybe you're going to build a little table around the house. After that, after you do the table, maybe you help a friend out with a deck. Before you know it, you're framing out walls. Now imagine you go to school. How much better are you going to feel? How how much better of an experience you're going to have if you've already got some knowledge under your belt, you've already got some skills there. You go so that when your instructors are teaching you things, you're like, oh yeah, I remember how to do that. Or, boy, I wish I'd known this when I was building that deck. That would have really helped me out a lot. I'm telling you, this actually works. Before we bought this house, we had rented for years. So I didn't have to do any of this kind of thing. And, I had some basic skills, what I learned from my dad growing up, but nothing major. But in the last 15 years, I've put a deck on our house, I've roofed a couple sections, I've repaired our stone foundation, built some furniture, and painted more times than I can remember. And I don't even want to be a carpenter. These are just things that needed to be done around the house. How much better would it be for you if you could focus on something and if you could aim in a direction in order to learn that skill, to master that skill as you're heading towards your eventual work. Oh, and one more thing. For all you guys actually who do want to go into some kind of white collar office work, the same thing applies. You still need to learn skills. You still have a lot of repetitive things that you have to do. For example, I'm teaching myself how to program a computer. And I'm using the exact same process. I figured out a little project I wanted to work on. Then I learned a bit. I tried it, was successful at that. Tried another thing, messed it up, failed. Tried again, figured it out. Just keep going on and on and on. Dig in, work at it. That's how I've been doing it myself. The same thing applies to you. You can learn these things. It's an excellent process. Okay, that's it for now. Subscribe to the channel so you get all the episodes, and then get at the assignment. Now remember, like I've already said this is not the final thing you're going to land on, but it will help you as you move forward in your development. This is your work, your success.